Big Juke, who's Yo Gotti's older brother, just got killed after leading a funeral.
If it's something about you I just don't respect, Roger, I can't sit and fake and act like it's all good.
That's understandable.
Know what I'm saying? Like the first time I even met little dude, go in the studio. First time. So he sent everybody out the studio. Like, let me holler at Dolph. Like, man, you got your own everything where you pop, where you got the money, you got the team, you got this, you got this. Like, bro, I'm telling you, we can do this.
We've got all the juicy details. Let's dive right into it. The rise of Big Juke and the Memphis Empire. To really understand what went down that wild January afternoon, we gotta rewind the clock way back to the gritty streets of Memphis, Tennessee, where two brothers were quietly building something that would flip the whole city's music game upside down.
I'm just put over.
And I looked into this beef. I was really trying to figure out the Yo Gotti, Young Dolph beef. Supposedly.
Right.
Some people say it was over a girl. Some people say Gotti wanted to sign Dolph and Dolph didn't want to sign.
Right.
Some people say, well, both of them had crews that were into some street shit or whatever. All this sounds very unnecessary for it to turn to murder or life sentences.
Anthony Mims, better known as Big Juke, wasn't just Yo Gotti's big brother. He was the foundation, the silent muscle behind a billion-dollar dream. While Mario Yo Gotti Mims was out front signing heavyweights like Moneybag Yo, ESTG, and Glorilla, Big Juke was the one keeping every screw in the CMG machine tight and turning. He wasn't about flashing cars or showing off stacks on Instagram. Nah, his feed was straight business. Every post was about CMG events, new drops, or upcoming talent he was pushing into the spotlight. He was the connector, the man who made calls, locked in deals, and made sure everything moved smooth behind the curtain. While Gotti took the stage, Juke was the one setting it up, making sure the empire didn't crumble under its own success. But in Memphis, fame always comes with a cost, and that cost can be deadly. Big Juke's story can't be told without mentioning the one man whose presence haunted every move that came after, Young Dolph, born Adolph Thornton Jr. He wasn't just another rapper, he was the pulse of Memphis, the energy the city loved and feared all at once. He was rich on his own terms, no label backing, no handouts, just pure grind. Young Dolph stood firm behind his paper route empire, loyal to the core, and never one to bend for anyone. When Yo Gotti came knocking around 2014 with an offer to join CMG, Dolph did something almost unheard of in the game. He straight up said no. That kind of move shocked the whole city. That rejection didn't sit right, and what started as a simple business deal gone sideways turned into something much darker. The tension between Yo Gotti and Young Dolph started bubbling until it couldn't be ignored anymore. What used to be about money and contracts turned into pride, power, and turf. And soon, the big question was, who really ran Memphis? Who had the crown, the boss with the label, or the king of the streets? Then came February 2016, a date burned into Memphis rap history. Young Dolph dropped his debut album, King of Memphis, and on that very same day, Yo Gotti released The Art of Hustle. And it wasn't a coincidence, that was a message. This wasn't friendly competition anymore, this was war. The shots kept flying, not bullets yet, but bars. Dolph turned the disrespect up heavy in 2017 when he dropped Play With Yo B, clean title, Play With Yo Op, a track that straight up mocked Gotti. He even had a Gotti lookalike getting clowned in the video. The song didn't just target Gotti, it called out Big Juke too, throwing shade that hit deep. And in Memphis, words like that don't disappear, they echo. Through the blocks, through the trap houses, through the studios, and once they start echoing, somebody's got to answer. The answer didn't come in words, it came in bullets. In February 2017, Young Dolph's bulletproof SUV was lit up with more than 100 rounds while he was in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was a full-on ambush, yet somehow, Dolph walked away without a single scratch. He didn't even cancel his show that night. He went on stage and performed like nothing happened. That moment turned what could have been a tragedy into pure legend. Dolph flipped the situation like a boss, dropping his album, Bulletproof, and the hit single, 100 Shots, both inspired by the attack. It wasn't just music, it was a message to everyone who doubted him. You can't stop me. Not long after, Black youngster got caught up in the drama and was hit with charges tied to the shooting. The case eventually fell apart and the charges were dropped, but Dolph's crew made it clear what they believed. Someone connected to Gotti had tried to end him, and they failed big time. Then came September 2017. Chaos again. Dolph got shot multiple times outside the Lowe's Hollywood Hotel in Los Angeles. The wild part, Gotti was staying at the same hotel when it happened. Reports instantly pointed fingers, calling Gotti a person of interest, though the LAPD cleared him later. Still, his associate, Corey McClendon, got arrested for attempted murder before being released without any charges. Through it all, Dolph just kept going, dropping music, stacking money, and speaking his mind loud. But while Dolph kept shining in public, prosecutors say Big Juke was watching from the shadows, keeping track of every diss, every headline, and every close call. Years later, in a Memphis courtroom, the real weight of that grudge would finally surface when a man fighting for his life started dropping names that shook the whole city. Prosecutors claimed Big Juke made a chilling move. He allegedly put a price on Young Dolph's head. Word in court said he offered $100,000 to anyone who could finally silence Dolph for good. And it didn't stop there. According to court documents that later surfaced, there was a whole hit list with numbers that sent shockwaves through Memphis. At the very top was Young Dolph, $100,000. Right beneath him, Key Glock, Dolph's cousin and Paper Route Empire's second biggest artist, was allegedly marked for $50,000. The list didn't end there. Other members of PRE supposedly had their own prices. PRE Wu for $50,000, Snoop Bands for $20,000, and Moochie Grape for just $5,000. If those claims were true, then Big Juke wasn't just running CMG's business, he was allegedly leading a personal war against Paper Route Empire. It was more than music beef, it was blood, loyalty, and revenge, all tangled together.
There was a very vicious diss song where Dolph was dissing Gotti's brother, Big Juke, who obviously has become a big part of this. He's obviously part, his life was taken in the end. But, that was one side of the beef. Dolph dropped that very, very vicious diss track. What was it? I think it's called Play With You a Bit.
Yeah.
Absolutely tore Big Juke and Yo Gotti apart. He had the body double in the video. That was fighting talk right there.
And then came November 17th, 2021, the day everything changed. That morning, the streets of Memphis would never be the same again. Young Dolph rolled up to Makeda's Homemade Butter Cookies, a small family bakery in South Memphis he'd supported for years. He wasn't there for fame or money, he was there for love, getting ready for his annual Thanksgiving turkey giveaway, giving back to the same community that built him. But within minutes, that good deed turned into tragedy. The city's king had just walked straight into the moment that would shake Memphis forever. He walked in alone, just wanting some of his favorite cookies, something he'd done dozens of times before, but this time, he never walked back out. Within moments, two men pulled up in a stolen white Mercedes-Benz, fully armed, one carrying a semi-automatic rifle, the other gripping a handgun. Without hesitation, they unloaded a storm of bullets through the bakery's window, hitting Young Dolph 22 times. The whole thing was caught on surveillance, a cold, calculated hit in broad daylight that sent chills through the entire city. Memphis was in complete shock. Vigils and tributes poured in from fans and artists around the world, everyone mourning the loss of the city's king. But in some darker corners of Memphis, people weren't crying, they were celebrating. The streets whispered, and the tension that had been simmering for years suddenly exploded into chaos.
Juke's the money man calling the shots. Quick puts you and Justin together, right? And you and Justin are cool with each other and interact with each other over the months. You said at least 5 times. Hey, what's up, baby? you're trying to, now we're back after the murder, you're trying to get your money.
Correct.
You're having conversations with Justin, is that correct?
Yeah, I was taking time like the and he's a blood with a party.
Detectives didn't waste time. By January 2022, 2 suspects were in custody: Justin Johnson, an up-and-coming rapper who went by Straight Drop, and Cornelius Smith, both accused of being the shooters. Not long after, a third man, Hernandez Govin, was charged as the alleged mastermind behind the murder plot, the man prosecutors say set everything up. Johnson's own half-brother, Jamarcus Johnson, was also arrested and charged as an accessory for helping cover it all up. But the real question wasn't just who pulled the trigger, it was why. Who had ordered such a bold assassination on one of Memphis's biggest stars? That answer finally started to unfold in September 2024, when Justin Johnson's long-awaited trial began, and what came out in that courtroom was pure chaos. Cornelius Smith, staring down a lifetime behind bars, made a shocking move, one that would flip the whole case upside down and shake the very core of Memphis hip-hop. When Cornelius Smith took the stand, courtroom went silent, and what he revealed flipped the entire case upside down. He agreed to testify against his co-defendants, and his words changed everything. Smith claimed that he and Justin Johnson had been recruited by Hernandez Govin to pull off the hit, a $100,000 contract that, according to him, came straight from Big Juke. Smith told the court that the deal was supposed to go like this: each shooter would get $40,000, while Govin would take a small finder's fee for putting the job together. Then came the twist no one saw coming. According to Smith's testimony, that big payday never happened. Instead of tens of thousands, he said he got a pathetic $800 total. That's right, $800 for taking a man's life. He said most of it came in cash, $500 stuffed in an envelope, sent through a message from Justin Johnson's phone, and another $300 handed to his girlfriend on a random street corner. The entire courtroom gasped. It sounded more like a setup than a payout. Smith wasn't done dropping bombs. He claimed that after the murder, someone tied to CMG allegedly paid $50,000 for his legal defense. When prosecutors pressed him on who exactly arranged that payment, Smith admitted he didn't know the person's name, but he insisted that the money came from Yo Gotti's camp. Shelby County Deputy District Attorney Paul Hagerman painted a brutal picture. Calculated, ego-driven hit, fueled by pride, music rivalry, and betrayal. Prosecutors alleged that Big Juke had personally invited Justin Johnson to Atlanta, promising him a CMG record deal as a reward. The message couldn't have been clearer: take out the competition, and you'll be paid in fame and fortune. Prosecutors came out swinging. This wasn't just street beef. They said it was a corporate hit, masked to look like street violence. CMG versus PRE, label versus label, and the ultimate prize, Young Dolph, the heart of Memphis, the man they claimed had to be erased from the board. On the stand, Cornelius Smith laid it all out. He said he and Justin Johnson tracked Dolph's every move during his Thanksgiving turkey giveaway, studying his route, watching his stops, waiting for the perfect window to strike. They allegedly knew his patterns, where he'd go, when he'd be alone, even when his security would be light. It was methodical, cold, and personal in the worst way. When the prosecutor asked why he'd help murder a man who'd never done him wrong, Smith's response sent a chill through the courtroom. He said it was all about money, that he was broke, dealing with grief after his son's death, and struggling with addiction. He admitted the hit went down on his daughter's birthday, saying he wanted to make it rain for her. The entire courtroom froze. It was raw, desperate, and haunting. But Justin Johnson's lawyer, Luke Evans, wasn't letting that slide. He tore into Smith's story, calling him a liar trying to save his own neck. Evans argued that Smith's testimony was nothing but a play for a lighter sentence, that every word was rehearsed and self-serving.
He reminded the jury that the so-called evidence was shaky. Yes, there was surveillance video. Yes, the outfits looked similar. But could they really trust the word of a confessed killer who had everything to gain by pointing the finger at someone else? In the end, the jury made their call, and it hit like thunder. On September 26, 2024, Justin Johnson was found guilty on all counts: first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and being a felon in possession of a firearm. The verdict sent shockwaves through Memphis. The war that started with music ended in a courtroom.
Yeah, and there was a lot of really bad talk that happened leading up to it. If you look on YouTube, Big Juke was laughing about Young Dolph on live. CMG don't miss twice. Talking about snakes and stuff like that. And I don't know if it has anything to do with Dolph. I have no idea. From the outside looking in, though, that's what it unfortunately appears to be.
Justin Johnson's fate was sealed. Life in prison without the chance of parole. The courtroom fell silent as the sentence dropped like a hammer. Some questions were finally answered. Johnson would never walk free again. Cornelius Smith's future was still hanging in the balance, and Hernandez Govan, the man prosecutors called the mastermind, was still waiting for his day in court. But the biggest name in the alleged conspiracy, the one who supposedly funded the hit and called the plays, Big Juke, would never face a judge. Because Big Juke was already dead. He was gone 9 months before the trial even began, taken out before he could ever be questioned, charged, or made to answer for the claims tied to him. And his death, still unsolved to this very day. The story didn't end with the courtroom verdict. It twisted into something even darker. The assassination of Big Juke opened a new chapter of mystery and revenge in Memphis, one packed with unanswered questions and dangerous whispers. It all went down on January 13, 2024, a quiet Saturday afternoon that turned bloody fast. Big Juke had just attended the funeral of Eric Boone, a family relative once known around Memphis as a serious cocaine kingpin. After the service, the family gathered at Perennian's Restaurant and Event Center on Winchester Road in Hickory Hill for the repast, the traditional meal held after a funeral. What was supposed to be a peaceful family moment, food, memories, and comfort, was about to become the scene of another tragedy that would leave the whole city buzzing with speculation and fear. According to the police reports, everything went down fast and loud. Around 4:15 p.m., officers nearby heard a burst of gunfire echoing through the area. When they pulled up, the scene was pure chaos. 2 people were down, both hit multiple times. Big Juke, just 47 years old, was rushed to the hospital, but doctors couldn't save him. He was pronounced dead shortly after arriving. The second victim somehow made it through and was listed in stable condition. The shooters didn't stick around. Witnesses said they peeled off in a white Ford Explorer with dark-tinted windows and black rims. Surveillance cameras caught the ride speeding away, and police quickly released still images asking the public for tips. But after that, silence. As of August 2025, there still haven't been any arrests, suspects, or solid leads. The Memphis Police Department keeps saying the case is still under investigation, but people can't help asking, how? How does a murder this high profile, caught on camera, with witnesses and national attention, still have no answers? Some say it's the code of the streets, that old rule of silence where nobody talks, no matter what. But others whisper about something way darker, about power, money, and influence that reaches too far to touch. And maybe the most haunting part of all is what Big Juke himself posted online just one day before he was killed. On January 12, 2024, he dropped a photo on Instagram with a caption that now reads like a prophecy. They don't want to face you, they want to snake you. Stay alert too. Those words hit different now, like he knew something was coming, a warning to himself, or a message to the world that he saw the danger long before it hit. Stay alive, watch your back at all times. Those were Big Juke's final words online, and just 24 hours later, he was gone, shot dead in his own city. It's impossible not to wonder, did he sense it coming? Had someone warned him? Or was it just the natural paranoia of a man who'd spent years living with danger breathing down his neck? We might never get the truth, and in the silence left by police and witnesses, the rumors have exploded. The timing of Big Juke's murder, coming after years of whispers about his alleged role in Young Dolph's death, but before he could ever be charged, has left people convinced there's more to the story. In the streets, everyone's got their own theory.
How do we stop that cycle? Because I heard Rick Ross call and say, bro, let's put the guns down. Let's put the masks down. Let's come together.
Yeah.
Let's build these communities. Let's get this people together. Let's stop this senseless violence.
Huh.
I don't know.
I don't think that shit ever would stop. It's just my opinion. Like, people been killing forever.
Mm-hmm.
That shit just life.
Even the industry started to stir. Whack 100, a well-known music manager, went public with a warning for Yo Gotti, saying that after what came out in court, federal authorities might start looking at CMG under RICO laws, treating the label like a criminal organization. That statement set the internet on fire. But as of now, no federal charges have been filed, and the talk remains just that, talk. Through all of this, the murders, the accusations, and the courtroom drama, Yo Gotti has kept his silence. No interviews, no statements, no explanations. CMG has never commented on the claims that someone from the label allegedly covered Cornelius Smith's legal fees, and Gotti himself hasn't spoken publicly about Big Juke's death beyond the initial mourning. It's as if the empire that once roared across Memphis has chosen to stay quiet, letting the streets and the rumors do all the talking. Some people say Yo Gotti's silence is just smart, a legal move to keep his name clear and avoid saying anything that could be twisted later. Others take it as something deeper, maybe guilt, or at least complicity. And then there are those who think he's just grieving in private, protecting what's left of his family after losing his brother and watching his city turn into a battlefield. When Big Juke was finally laid to rest, Memphis had never seen anything like it. The funeral looked more like a high-security operation than a goodbye. Helicopters circled overhead, snipers watched from rooftops, and police were everywhere. The message was crystal clear. Whatever happened to Juke, the Gotti family wasn't taking any chances. Then came the words that still echo through the culture. 21 Savage summed it up perfectly, saying it out loud. Violence in the hip-hop world has become so common, so expected, that people treat it like just another part of doing business. It's the harsh reality nobody wants to admit, but everyone feels. Now look at what's left. Young Dolph is gone, Big Juke is gone, Justin Johnson will never see the outside world again, and still the cycle of revenge, silence, and pain keeps spinning in Memphis, a war that's taken too many and shows no sign of stopping. As this story closes, the questions still hang heavy in the air. Who really killed Big Juke? Will anyone ever be charged? And most importantly, will the bloodshed ever end? The investigation is still technically open, and the Memphis Police Department continues to urge anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers. But in a city where silence means survival, where talking can cost you your life, and where the streets have their own rules, justice might never come. If you made it this far, drop your thoughts below. Who do you think was really behind it all? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your take, because this story isn't just history, it's still unfolding right now.